Hello, I'm here with Matt Catling from IO Radio. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good, thank you very much, Andy. It's a
Good,
lovely
good.
evening, by the way.
That is. Have you been out today on a lockdown walk or anything?
I just been around, been for a walk today. Just try to go for a nice walk. Just did a few shopping here and there, just get a few bits.
Cool. Well, I think most people will know you from your show on IO Radio. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, a show. I do a couple of shows actually. Called the Wednesday show's called the Refurb. If you're a fan of the indie subgenre shoegaze and dream pop, that's probably one of the best shows that personally I ever done throughout the last 7 years from ICR to IO Radio. Because it's always been kind of my passion with a lot of the kind of the bands that I'm into, basically Slow Dive Ride, My Bloody Valentine, Swear Driver, a lot of the new material like Ringo, Death Star. And I thought to myself, I really wanted to do a show involving that kind of music, because nobody else during this time wasn't really doing a show like that before. I keep hearing this stuff through America and maybe internet radio, and none of the community radios that I've listened to through ICR wasn't really doing that at this moment of time. So I decided, why the hell not? Let's see if I can do a good show out of it, and here I am.
Yeah, so it feels quite a unique show. What actually got you into this style of music, do you think? Do you remember, the time where you thought, well, this is the sort of music that's me?
Wow, this is going back a long time ago. I think many reasons. Probably, I think the earliest was probably Black Rebel Motorcycle Club's first album, actually. I'm talking about, we're going back to maybe when I was a teenager. But I think also the Road Rash game, obviously, like Swear Driver possibly was probably another step.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I think when I look at Andy Bell, who used to play for Oasis, obviously his earlier band Ride kind of inspired that. And I think another key element was definitely a lot of early material like Ferv. Just reaching out.
Yeah, so
the early music
at the time,
of
you'd have heard of a lot of these on radio and TV and stuff, and it's more you're sort of carrying that on now,
possibly.
So you don't hear as much of it, or a lot of the bands don't.
Also, I think a lot of the kids back in the day, I think LimeWire and all that, the stuff you download tracks back in the day for free, and you really want to have a listen to something different. I guess that kind of was where I kind of lift off. Then I kind of sort of start. Sorry.
So as I said, do you think at the moment with the lockdown happening that people are listening to more music, and maybe bands who wouldn't normally get the chance, people are researching and finding more bands, especially the sort of thing you play on your radio?
I possibly think so. I know there's quite a few people that probably look into it, and I've thought to myself, to be honest, I try to listen as much as I can, to be fair. I mean, one day I want to listen to something a little dreamy. Next minute I'm listen to something a bit more upbeat. And I think it's kind of given myself an opportunity to collect vinyl again, that kind of format, as well as going through my record collection and listen to CDs.
Yeah, so you've set up a blog. You set up a new blog about your record collection, on Facebook. That's something you've done during the lockdown.
Yeah, I sort of found a inspiration from the lockdown blogs, like the self-isolation blogs, and a few channels that, I don't know, they're kind of like a representation of collecting music, like my music collection. I don't know if anyone's seen them on YouTube, like record collections, CD collections, do reveals about them. And that's kind of give me a light bulb in my head to say I should do a blog of it. Just thought to myself, like, I got all this music collection. Originally, my plan was to start to do it as a vinyl thing, because I really wanted to focus on more of that format. But I think as time moved on, I realized I seem to got much more CDs than vinyl, because I haven't really got much of a collection at this moment of time. So I thought to myself, let's just do bits and both and see where that gets lift off. And I think it's doing really well for itself.
Yeah, I mean,
especially.
So as you said, at the moment, it's probably difficult to build that collection. You can't go out and look in a record shop like Ipswich. You've got Out of Time Records, for example. You could go in and have a browse, whereas at the moment you can only really get stuff online, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that is probably the downside to it. Is you probably get stuck online. Sometimes you either can wait for the next day delivery, which is okay, or maybe you gotta wait for at least about 3 weeks to go and receive it. And I think sometimes I like to look through the records, like emotionally and physically. When I go to a record shop, I'm looking at myself, like looking at the best stuff I really liked or I really wanted for a long time. So, yeah,
So,
that's
so
probably where that's coming from.
I've had a look through the blog, and you've got quite a few likes on there, lots of stuff up there already. Seems to be going really well, and that's keeping you busy as well, because obviously you can't get to the studio to do your shows at the moment. So you doing them from home or mixers, or what's going on with those?
At the moment, I'm kind of waiting on some audio equipment at the moment, so I can start doing a second lockdown show. I did a first one, but it's mostly through copy and pasting tracks, so unfortunately, but I really wanted to progress onto it and buy a little mixer and start mixing it properly, through my DJ app that I got. Do that as try and keep the show going, whether it's just at least about an hour of music or half an hour, as long as people are listening, and as long as I'm showing someone what my stuff is all about or what I'm about really, and getting to know what the music's like, what this band's called, or where this band's from and stuff like that. I think my music taste is a little bit more niche, I guess. It's always been one step out of the, I don't know, mainstream crowd, really. I think that's where that will come from, I think, possibly.
The one thing, I've known you quite a few years now, from back in the ICR days when I was there as well as you. And you travel around a lot to go to gigs, and you must be missing that. Once you're allowed to, where would you like to go, and what bands are you most looking forward to seeing again once we can?
It's a tough decision at the moment. Whether I'm looking at something, maybe look into something that I really want to do at the moment. Like when I think about when this lockdown's lifted or when it's over, I'm thinking maybe head down to London. It's been overdue. Maybe see who's playing at this moment of time, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see any gigs at this moment of time. So it might be sometime in the next year. So if it does, I'll probably find out where these bands are touring. I think
so nothing specifically at the moment, but it's going to be I think once they're allowed to put gigs on again, there'll be a rush, because all the band, every band will want to get out there and play again. There's some bands only play for 6 months a year or whatever and do other things, but
definitely
there's going to be a lot of gigs once they can happen, and surely that's something to look forward to.
I think possibly is definitely the most exciting thing once everything gets back to the gig scene, like US bands touring in the UK or European bands. I possibly think this is going to be an exciting time. I think it's going to bring more people together. Despite what happened this year, I think it's going to bring a lot more people. I think it's going to show there's excitement again with touring bands that are coming to emerge the UK again. And, I'm looking forward to that day, possibly.
Yeah. And what else have you been doing to keep busy? Because obviously with so much stuff with our routine that we were doing and we now can't. And I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago just on here for a general chat, and you seem to be getting on pretty well and in good spirits. So you've been keeping busy, yeah?
I have actually. I've been taking pictures of a few wildlife stuff, going around parks and all that and taking pictures of squirrels or flowers. During when I'm not doing all that, I'm sort of going back to my drawings again, and I've been kind of really just doodling around, kind of just taking some ideas, doing something something different, something unique and beautiful. That's what I've done over the last couple of days. I think James's doodling's kind of really made it kind of helpful in many ways, because I've seen his work throughout the last few years, and he's been really busy on that. It's actually really beautiful stuff.
Yeah, with him, I mean, we interviewed him. Well, I interviewed last week, and he's had more time to do that. And I think this is the time. It's difficult to get in that mindset, but you've got to get creative. It's sometimes it can't be forced. And you said you're getting back into your drawings. Do you feel that's something that you've sort of eased into doing again? Now you've had the time, once you had time to process things.
I think it's something that I'm sort of getting back into slowly. But I just need to find some other things that inspire me to do it, though, because I'm always wanting to do something. But it's just trying to find the right pictures, the right vibe, the right time of it, I guess. And the right frame of mind. That's how I probably see it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And you mentioned James from Mindles. Well, have you seen anybody else or anything else that's kind of inspiring come out of this? Any positives? You've seen on the news or through people you know?
Wow. Let's see. I think personally, I think the only inspiration is probably myself collecting vinyls again, and maybe just going through my record collection and just try and take one day at a time. I guess that's how I probably
sort of found comfort in your music, sort of thing again, yeah, and building on that. That's good, because one thing is, music can get us through a lot. It reminds us of things and cheers us up, and that's really good. And that's why I think it's very important that DJs like yourself are still putting stuff out there. All musicians still doing things, and it seems like you're doing that pretty well. But obviously, the sooner this is over for all of us, the better. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think before the lockdown, though, I have been kind of struggling to start the DJ nights again in Ipswich, but it's been kind of a major struggle since me leaving the Swan a few years ago, and it has been kind of hard to find a new venue into that. And to be honest, I tried my best to get my name or my foot on the door for this, but unfortunately, not much luck in Ipswich on this one, unfortunately. But,
yeah. Well, maybe once people have missed things, that they're more enthusiastic about more niche music once this is over. You don't know, But then Ipswich is that kind of, as much as I like Ipswich, it is very on the live music scene, especially DJ wise, it's kind of commercial. But hopefully things will change.
Definitely change. Yeah. And I like to see that change itself.
And you've only got to look at IO, which you're on, and the Smokehouse, and they put gigs on. There's so many different things going on.
Oh, definitely.
That hopefully that will expand into more. And one thing I really hope still happens is Sound City. I'm not sure because that's October, where the mixed venues, which I went to with you last year. We had a good night.
Oh man, that was a brilliant night. I tell you what, probably the best thing I ever seen in Ipswich. There's a lot of people that you haven't really seen for a little while, and everyone's finally got together and throw their differences aside, and it's always been that number one priority. Like, people should leave all their feuds, their differences aside, and come together and listen to the good music, because we had Sound City last year, and it was really good to see really unique bands. I think when I saw Murder Capital last year, I thought to myself, this is really something different. This is heavy. This is raw stuff. Yeah. When I saw Snapped Ankles later on the night, I thought to myself, this is really psychedelic. Again, it was very raw. It was very in your face and all that. And glad to be a part of it, to be honest.
And two pretty different bands on the same bill. I mean, even that festival, I'm referring to it anyway because it was a lot going on. I was down the front jumping about to a grime act, which you wouldn't expect, So that was good, and different people, different tastes from different cultures in Ipswich all came together. So that was fantastic, and that's something that I really hope happens this year. And if not, hopefully they'll do it the year after, and it'll be even bigger. So,
definitely, it'll be much better and bigger if it does happen in the next year as well, because I think it will blow up, totally mad of it.
Yeah. So lots of things can come out of this, and it should be good. The reason I've done this interview with you a bit earlier, I messaged you, can we do it earlier? Because I forgot it's Thursday night. It's the NHS clap tonight, isn't it? So have you been doing that and seeing people around your area do it?
I haven't really done it myself, but I've seen quite a few stuff happening on the YouTube, and a lot of people have been clapping for it. I'm always praising that stuff myself, whether I'm just trying to take one day at a time. For me personally, I'm always here to help anyone that especially the NHS, do need that respect they truly deserve.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
sometimes I haven't really been out the house, during that period of time.
Yeah.
Because I'm always mostly in my room doing stuff. But,
yeah. So sometimes it's difficult to sort of, if you're in the middle of something, keep track of time to be able to, last week it was like dead on 8, and I only went out and done it because I heard other people outside clapping, so I got out there and done it. But I was sat by my door, sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, thanks a lot for the time you spent with us. You mentioned you've been taking some photos. Some of that's on the Facebook page as well. I've linked up.
yes.
I'll link up your record page and IO page to this video as well. So as soon as you're back on air, hopefully people will be keen to listen and join in with the fun again. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
mate. Cheers.